What is it with power and corruption? Why is it more likely for a person in power to become corrupt than for them to stay on the right path of integrity? In my country of origin, Argentina, they recently had presidential elections, which became international headlines. There were two main candidates, and Javier Milei won the elections with almost 56% of voter support. One of the reasons he made international headlines was because the policies he proposes are so radically different from the previous administration, and he would often be seen campaigning with a chainsaw in his hands as a symbol of slashing spending. His policies scare a lot of people, but voters say it is the only viable way out of misery. Funny enough, people had similar hopes with the previous administration was voted in a few years ago, as well as the administration before that, and the pattern continues. If we look at pretty much every country in the world, the government is flawed in some way, shape, or form. Now, don't worry, I'm not starting a political revolution, but I do want to point out that this problem of unjust leaders who seem to have no real accountability has been around for thousands of years. Psalms 82 calls God out for allowing all these people in power who consider themselves gods to continue oppressing the nation. Listen to what it says. God stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked? Defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Free them from the hand of the wicked. They do not know, nor do they understand. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are unstable. I said, you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for you shall inherit all nations. Who of you can relate to the psalm and feel righteous indignation at all the injustices we see in the world around us? I know I can, and sometimes that sense of helplessness is so overwhelming, especially when we see the innocent suffering. It's easy to point out injustice in other leaders, but the lesson asks a really good question that makes it so much more personal. What kind of authority do you hold over others? How justly and fairly are you exercising that authority? There are many roles where we can hold authority, such as in our workplace as a manager, supervisor, or even just as a more experienced person. What about at home, as a parent, as a spouse, as an older sibling? What about in church as an elder, or Sabbath school teacher, or ministry leader? Do we get onto our high horse and exert that authority because now that we have a little bit of power, we want to use it to assert ourselves? Unfortunately, even among Christians, authority can be abused. In Patriarchs and Prophets, page 269, Ellen White says that the heart of the Redeemer sympathizes with the lowliest of his earthly children. He tells us that they are his representatives on earth, placed among us to awaken in our hearts the love he feels toward the suffering and oppressed. He regards an act of cruelty or neglect toward them as done to him. And may we never forget that. That was our nugget for today. I'll see you tomorrow.